So guys, nothing in this video is financial advice, but I have found some more short setups, and we're going to look at Bitcoin to start the video off, because this could be the dead cat bounce that we see happen on the daily, because you guys can see we definitely are oversold here. However, like I said in the last video, when these 4-hour and the hourly time frame does get the bounce, it looks like they are just going to be bull traps, just like the previous 4-hour, right, when we retraced. So I think there is further downside to come, and there is a edge on a couple of short setups that we will talk about. But I'm expecting possibly another 107k test before we get the next move down. However, guys, that definitely could not happen. We could go straight to all-time highs, and I could be wrong. However, I don't want to hear about it when I'm wrong. When I'm right, I want to hear about it. I want to get some feedback. When I'm wrong, I don't want to hear about it. Anyway, guys, the short setups are looking very juicy, and like I said, the weekly on Bitcoin, it really does look like this could be it. The curtains could be closing. We could be coming back down to the sub 70s, 60s. It's possible. It's very possible. But the edge for these trades are on the total DeFi. And the reason being is because if Bitcoin is going sub 100k, Ethereum is going to correct very hard. And the DeFi protocols are going to get hit hard, guys, because they're altcoins, and the altcoins are literally fucking Ponzi's. They are. I mean, even the ones with fundamentals, like I keep saying, guys, even the ones with fundamentals are still on the borderline of being Ponzi's. Bitcoin is the only real cryptocurrency, and if you don't like hearing that, I'm sorry, but you just don't want to accept the truth. Now, guys, the weekly topped out on the total DeFi market cap. I am expecting possibly a move down to around the 50 billion area, which is going back to 2023 bear market lows. And this would make sense. It would make sense, guys, and I'll show you why it would make sense. So if the crypto total DeFi chart is showing us there is a major pullback coming, these could be dead cat bounces that we see happen over the next 2 to 3 days. And sure, we could come back to the top of this range, but I think this would be the fake out, because if we don't start getting the breakdown today, then it most likely will be one last bull trap before the flush. Now let's look at the coins that we could short. The first pick is going to be AAVE, because AAVE and Maker are the backbone of the Ethereum DeFi. Well, that's what they say. And guys, I think AAVE is getting a very nice bull trap set up here. You know, you could kind of say the 4-hour is bear flagging in a way, you know, and on the weekly you can see it as well. The weekly, like I said, all of these have topped out, guys. We are talking about a really nice edge on the DeFi shorts. Now, I could be wrong, like I said, it's not financial advice, but there is a edge here on the charts. And AAVE specifically really likes to turbo dump when the market corrects. And I still think we could get AAVE down around 150. I think that's possibly where I'll try to scalp some longs. But I mean, these trades don't just play out in a couple of days, guys. When I make these videos, they're swing trades I like to hold. So I think we do come back down to around this range, which is around $1.70, around a 32% drop. And getting into this short, well, I'm already in the short, but if you're watching this and it hasn't nuked yet, you know, the trade setup's pretty straightforward. You would want to be sitting at probably like 258, just because if it does come back up to test the top of this bear flag, you might get faked out. They faked me out of the Kusama short, but I entered it again and I caught an even better entry. So guys, I think we could go down to around 170 on AAVE. Obviously, I'm going to scale out some of this as it drops, but you know, this is another really good trade, guys, if these are about to roll over. And like I said, the edge is on the weekly. Yes, you might get a bounce and a bit of a bull trap. You know, you look at it on the weekly here and it looks like it could easily stop us out. However, the momentum is there for this to drop out of the bear flag, and I just think it does have a really good possibility of breaking down. So that's my AAVE setup, guys. Not financial advice. The other one is Maker, and Maker has been looking really strong recently. But guys, these bounces that we could be seeing, they could definitely be the bull traps, and Maker could easily come back up to test around 1,700 area before we get the next drop. Because if this momentum is going to be the bull trap, then yeah, we probably will get a bounce here. But guys, like I keep saying, the weekly is where the edge is at, and fuck, if Ethereum is about to correct, these are going to get smashed. Because if Bitcoin's going sub 100k, Ethereum's going sub 2000, and when that happens, we know these DeFi protocols are going to get hit extra hard. So it's the same setup on Maker. If you look at the 4-hour here, actually Maker had a bit of a better setup. It's got one of those rising wedges. Now they don't always break down, but you know, this kind of pattern here, I do think they break down more than they break up. Yes, you might get a bit of a fake out. Like I keep saying, guys, they are oversold, right? But even on the 1 hour, they're just putting in lower highs. So yeah, you might get that fake out bounce, and this would mean Maker probably comes back to test that 1,600, 1,700. However, I'm looking to short Maker, and my targets for Maker probably go back down to around the 1,200 zone. It could even fall through this, you know, definitely could fall through this, but does have a good setup if the DeFi protocols are about to drop. But the edge is definitely on the weekly time frame. I think Maker is getting ready for the rollover, to be honest. I really think we're going to get this bull trap possibly today. One last fake out move. So there's two scenarios that we can play on Maker. The first one is we wait for this to actually do the dead cat bounce, right? And we could enter possibly around 1,600. The second scenario, 1,700. Actually, there's three scenarios here for the shorts on Maker. This is why you need to be tight with your stop loss, guys, because you just have to survive. If they stop you out, you just have to survive to enter the short again. So if we were to enter the short now and expect this to break down today, your stop loss, well, for me, I honestly think we got to be around 620, which isn't that bad, because the target on Maker still remains around 1,200, and it could even go a lot lower than 1,200. But I won't be too greedy with this. Anyway, guys, I like the setup on these DeFi protocols. Like I said, I could be wrong. We could get the dead cat bounce because they are oversold. But like I always say, it does not mean we have to bounce on the daily just because we are oversold like this. Anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. Take a quick look at the total 3, the altcoin market cap. So we did get that breakdown, and it does seem to be respecting this trend. Actually, it broke this trend. So guys, the weekly is still where all the edges are at. I mean, if we are going to look for shorts, you have to just keep in mind the weekly looks like it is going to roll over again, and we are just bull trapping. I mean, everybody is still very bullish, so the sentiment is extremely bullish. The one thing that I did notice is the monthly time frame on Bitcoin and the total DeFi, they all did kind of come down, but there could definitely be lower to come. Like over here, we could definitely get that last drop, that last flush down, and then maybe, possibly, we could look for the longs again. I'm not saying the entire bull market is over, but it does look like that. And the reason why I'm saying the entire bull market could not be over is because if you guys look at the monthly on Bitcoin, this is where it all comes down to, guys, because if we get a close, I mean, you ideally want to close above 109, but if we do close below 109, I think it's set for this last flush down here. And that would destroy a lot of altcoins, which is why I think we have confluence with the total DeFi showing us that it's topped out on the weekly. All the altcoins put in lower highs on their weekly, while Bitcoin on the weekly put in all-time highs. So I think this is our setup, guys. And like I said, I could be wrong. It's not financial advice. It's just my theory, my speculation on the market, my trades. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe. And until the next one, thank you.